Hello class, good day to each and everyone and welcome to this recorded video discussion. So in this session, I am going to discuss the introduction to science, technology, and society. So far, this is our first topic in this subject. So I hope you are doing well now and you are prepared to listen to this discussion kasi sobrang dami yung matututuhan dito, and I am encouraging you to please watch this video until the end because there is an important announcement at the end of this video. Dun ko malalaman kung pinanood mo ng buo yung recorded video discussion na ito. So can I proceed with the discussion? So sit back and relax. Okay, so in this session there are interesting topics to be discussed. So to start with, so in this discussion, these are the objectives that we're going to attain. So at the end of this discussion, we must be able to answer the following questions. So the first question is that how do we define science, technology, and society? So these words are not new to you kasi before pa naririnig nyo na po itong mga terms na ito. So we will define in this video, we'll define science, technology, and society for us to understand our subject fully. Okay, so for the second question is that how do science, technology, and society interact with each other, or how they are related? So bakit sila pinag-isa into one subject? Okay, are they related? Are they interacting with each other? Okay, so for the third question, what is then science, technology, and society? Ano yun na yung kabuuan? Bakit kayo ay required na mag-take nitong subject na ito? Is this subject important in your course, in your life? Okay, so we will answer that question. So for the fourth one, what are the historical antecedents that change the course of science and technology in the world, or the ancient, middle, and the modern ages? So ano ba yung mga historical na kaganapan, okay, na bumago sa course ng science and technology through time? Okay, also we'll mention in the Philippine setting who are the scientists, inventors who paved the way to the changes that we are having now in the field of science and technology. So these questions are very interesting questions. So I hope at the end of this discussion, we will be able to answer these questions. Okay, so let me proceed with the discussion. Okay, so the first question is, how do we define science, technology, and society? So, alin ba ang gusto nyong unahin nating i-define? Okay, so you can choose kung alin dito sa tatlo ang una nating i-define, but for the sake of this recorded video, I will start with the word science. So, ano ba yung science? Okay, so hindi na bago sa inyo ang science. So, you've been hearing this ever since you were in elementary. Okay, so ano ba tong science na ito? Okay, so science came from Latin word scientia. Okay, scientia, which means knowledge. So pag sinabi nating science, ang ibig sabihin po niyan is knowledge. Okay, so it is a system of acquiring knowledge based on the scientific method. So I know hindi na bago sa inyo yung word or words na scientific method. So sabi dito, science daw is a system of acquiring knowledge. So pag sinabi nating sistema, so ibig sabihin meron siyang sinusundan na steps. Okay, ito na nga po yung scientific method, and I know you are aware of the steps, okay, of the different steps that we undergo when we are following the scientific method. So we will review that. So sabi dito, science is also a process used to solve problems or develop an understanding of nature that involves testing possible answers. So sabi daw dito, through science, we can solve problems, okay, by just following the scientific method. So naalala niyo po ba yung the different steps in scientific method? Okay, can you give one step or the first step in the scientific method? Sige na. Okay, so I'll be happy to hear that when we will have our synchronous class. Okay, so let us review the steps of the scientific method. So the first step, so this is the summary. Okay, so the summary of the scientific method. Okay, so first of all, scientific method, it's all started with a problem. Okay, meron ka munang gustong malaman, ano ba yung problema? Okay, and then you will do an observation. Okay, then parang may na-observe ka. Okay, so sa paligid mo, parang may something. There is something that is not usual. Okay, for example, ano ba yung problem na kadalasan nating nai-encounter? Okay? So, siguro, yung iba nyong classmates, hindi gaanong nakaka-attend ng online class. Okay? So, yan yung na-observe nyo. Bakit kaya? We have no problem. Bakit kaya yung iba kong mga classmates, hindi sila agad nakaka-attend ng online class or madalang lang silang nakaka-attend? So, na-observe mo yon and then you started asking the question. So, etong question na tinanong mo dito, bakit kaya yung iba mong classmates ay hindi nakaka-attend? That is now your problem. Okay? And then, that is now the time, the next step that you are going to do is to make an hypothesis. So, ano ba yung tinatawag nating hypothesis? It's an educated guess. So, magsusuppose ka, siguro, kaya sila hindi nakaka-attend kasi wala silang internet connection. Ayan, wala silang gadget na ginagamit para maka-join sa online classes natin. Ayan, so nagkaroon ka ngayon ng haka-haka. So, tinatawag natin yung hypothesis or educated guess. And then, sabi mo dito, gusto kong malaman kung ano ba talaga yung rason kung bakit hindi sila nakaka-attend. Then, that is the time you do an experiment. Okay? So, dito sa pag-experiment mo, nag-survey ka sa kanila. Uy, ganito, ganyan. Ano yung rason mo? Bakit ka hindi nakaka-attend? Doon ka naman sa isang classmate mo. Uy, bakit hindi ka nakaka-attend? Ganito, ganyan. And then, yung pag-survey mo, that is the process of experimenting. So, nag-gather ka ng data doon sa mga classmates mo na, ay, okay. So, eto yung mga sagot nila. So, pag nag-gather mo na yung data through experiment, that is the time magkakaroon ka ngayon ng analysis. I-analyze mo yung mga data na yun. Kaya pala sila hindi nakaka-attend. Most of them do not have reliable internet connection. Ayan, yung iba sa kanila nag-work. Ayan. So, yun yung na-analyze mo sa data. And kapag na-analyze mo thoroughly yung data, that is the time that you will make a conclusion. So, magko-conclude ka na. Kaya pala sila hindi gaanong Therefore, I conclude na kaya pala sila hindi gaanong nakaka-attend ng online class kasi ganito, ganyan, ganyan. They are encountering these problems. Yun, iisa-isa mo na. So, in that way, nasagot mo yung problema na nakita mo sa paligid mo. Okay? So, with that simple process, okay, you undergo scientific method. So, this is how we solve problem. Okay? So, kaya nga po, science, it is the system or process of solving problem. Hindi dito pwedeng may problema tapos bigla kang magko-conclude without undergoing this processes. So, yun yung pinaka basic example kung paano ba nag-a-acquire ng knowledge sa science. So, I hope na-gets nyo yung analogy na ginawa ko on how scientific method is being followed in acquiring or solving problem, acquiring knowledge and on solving problem. So, ganun lang po yun kasimple. Kasi 'di ba sabi natin, science came from the Latin words scientia, which means knowledge. Okay? So, let me proceed. Also, science is an organized, systematic, and methodical activity of building and organizing knowledge about how the universe behaves through observation experimentation, or both. So, ito na po yung pinaka-summary ng scientific method na yung science daw, it's an organized body of knowledge na may sinusunod na mga methods, which is the scientific method in building, okay, in building organized knowledge. Hindi lang pwedeng basta ka lang mag-conclude, okay? So, dapat mag-undergo ng observation and through experimentation. Okay, so pag hindi yan nag-undergo ng observation, experimentation, that is not science. Okay, so mga ano lang yan, sabi-sabi lamang yan. So pag hindi yan nag-undergo ng scientific method, it's not a scientific knowledge. Okay, so it is also as science is a discovery of regularity in nature, enough for natural phenomena to be described by principles and laws. So, yung mga principles, laws na meron tayo sa science, example, the first law of motion. So, habang yung mga scientists natin, si Newton, nag-undergo yun ng maraming beses ng scientific method. Inulit-ulit niya yung processes na yun until nakakome up siya ng first law of motion, which is the law of inertia, na ang isang bagay hindi gagalaw ng walang hindi mo ina-applyan ng external force. So that is the law of inertia, 'di ba? So paano yun naging law? Newton undergo several scientific methods until na discover niya yung regularity in nature na yon. Kaya hanggang ngayon wala na si Newton, but still that law applies, that principle still apply kasi nga po it undergoes scientific method. Okay, so also it tries to discover facts and relationships and then tries to create theories that makes sense of these facts and relationships. Ayan. So, dahil yung mga scientists natin, even tayo, we keep on discovering facts and relationships, and base doon sa mga base doon sa mga na-discover nating facts and relationship, tayo, we try to create theory. Ayan, example, the theory of evolution ni Charles Darwin. 'Di ba? So, sabi niya, doon sa theory of evolution, galing daw tayo sa sa monkey. Ayan, so, yung yung theory na yun, hindi lang naman yun basta-basta na nagsabi na, okay, tayo ay galing dito. Of course, it undergoes scientific method. Hindi naman basta-basta pwedeng magsabi si Charles Darwin ng theory of evolution without undergoing scientific method. Okay, so, kaka-discover natin ng mga facts and relationships, nabubuo natin yung mga yung mga facts and relationships na yon into theories, principles, and laws. Okay? So, ang dami na natin ngayong mga principles, ang daming mga laws na na nag-e-exist sa science. Okay? So, that is the magical of science. Okay, so we keep on, 'di ba? If you are scientifically inclined, hindi pwedeng hayaan mo lang yung isang bagay na mangyari without knowing, 'di ba? You are STEM students, you are future mechanical engineers. I know kayo na-imbibe sa inyo yung idea na there's something there's a reason behind that behind that phenomena. So yung mind natin, kailangan natin yang i-discover. Okay? So yan, napakaganda ng science. Okay? So let me proceed. So we come now to the second term, which is technology. Okay? So sabi natin yung science, it is the process of acquiring knowledge, okay, through scientific method. Ngayon naman, technology. Okay, so technology now is that it refers to the methods, systems, and devices which are the result of scientific knowledge being used for practical purposes. So, lahat ng bagay na meron tayo ngayon, laptop, cellphone, mirror, table, notebook, lahat ng nakikita nyo dyan kung nasaan ka man ngayon nanonood ngayon, those are examples of technology. Huwag nyo pong ilalagay sa isip nyo na pag sinabi nating technology, yun po ay makabago lamang. Okay? Lahat ng bagay na ginagamit nyo that makes your life easier, that is considered as technology. Okay? That for practical purposes. So, sabi dito, it is the result of scientific knowledge. Okay? So, kasi po, also, technology is the human attempt to change the world by creating products that make our life easier. So, ito na yung nabanggit ko sa inyo kanina. Hindi man yan makabagong teknolohiya. Simpleng ballpen, simpleng lapis, those are examples of technology. It make our life easier. So, before, yung mga sinaunang tao, nagsusulat sila using stones. Okay, wala pang lapis, wala pang ballpen. But because of scientific method, yung mga yung mga scientists natin before, okay, nag-undergo sila. Ano kaya yung pwede nating gawin para mas mabilis yung pagsusulat? Ayan. So, nag-come up ngayon sila ng scientific knowledge until they applied it for practical purposes. We now have ballpen. Okay? So, etong ballpen na ito, hindi naman po ito nag-exist as ballpen na lang. So, it undergoes scientific method. Okay? So, sabi dito, ayan, so we're done with the term technology. Parang nawala dito sa slides ko yung wait lang ha. Nawala dito sa slides ko yung kung saan galing yung word na technology. Wait lang. Babalikan ko po ha. Saan na yung aking technology? Ayun, eto. Bakit siya? Ay, lumagpas siya. Sige. Ayan. So, another interesting fact about technology is that it came, okay? It comes from the Greek word, okay? Kung so, yung science is galing sa scientia, which means knowledge. So, eto namang technology comes from the Greek root word techne, which means art, skill, or cunning of hand. So, ibig sabihin po, it's a product na gawa ng kamay, or it's a skill. Okay, it is for example, baking, ayan, painting, ano pa ba? Ano pa bang mga skills na driving? Okay, so those are examples of technology. So, sabi dito, it is the application of scientific knowledge, laws, and principles to produce services, materials, tools, and machines aimed at solving real-world problems. So, after mag-undergo ng maraming scientific method ng ating mga scientists, okay, and then they were able to come up with a scientific knowledge, that is the time they apply. Kapag in-apply na nila yung scientific knowledge, laws, and principles na find out nila or nabuo nila, that is the time makakaproduce na po ng services, materials, tools, and machines na pwedeng somehow will solve our real world problems. For example, 'di ba, yung washing machine, hindi naman siya nung unang panahon wala namang washing machine. So yung mga natin, yung mga scientists, yung mga businessmen, nag-conduct sila ng maraming researches. Ano kaya yung, 'di ba ngayon mga digital na ang washing machine, before di ikot-ikot pa. So ngayon dipindot na, naka-program na. So as the time goes by, nagdi-develop yung ating mga technology. So dahil na din yun sa patuloy na pag-aaral ng ating mga scientists and mga innovators, okay, mga engineers, okay? So, yung mga scientific knowledge na yun ay continuous po yun na nagde-develop para ma-solve natin yung mga real world problems na meron tayo. Ano po? So, ito, nabanggit ko na to kanina. So, lagi niyong tandaan na ang technology, it is the application of scientific knowledge. Yung na-develop na scientific knowledge, i-apply siya to produce a product, services, na makakatulong sa atin to solve the problem. Okay? So, next, okay, so the next term that we're going to define is society. So, ano ba tong society na to? Okay, so society, eto namang society came from the Latin word societas. Okay? Which means a friendly association with others. So, ibig sabihin, yeah, society, it's a group of people, okay, who are associating with each other. Okay? So, ito po, also, society refers to a large group of people who live together in an organized way, making decisions about how to do things and sharing the work that needs to be done. Okay, so for example, yung klase nyo ba, can you consider that as a society? Do you consider that as a society? Yes, it is an example of society because you are an example of people even though you are just living virtually, but with the virtue of the sectioning, okay, you are living together as kung ano man yung section nyo, okay? So, in an organized way wherein you make decisions how to do things. Example, paano nyo ba isasubmit yung mga activities nyo? Okay, nagkakaroon kayo ng decision. Ay, i-ano ko na lang po, ma'am, sa Google Classroom kasi yun naman po yung napag-decisionan natin na platform kung saan isasubmit. Okay? So, in that way, mayroon kayong unity. Okay? Mayroon kayong unity na tinatawag na you are deciding, okay? You are sharing the work that needs to be done. Okay? So, merong mga group activities na kailangan yung gawin para gawin ng sama-sama para kayo ay makapasa or makapasa dito sa subject na ito. So, in a layman's term, ang society ay it refers to the group of people. Okay? So, it's a group of people na kung saan merong agreement, okay? Merong goal na gustong matupad, okay? Para parehas yung nasa isip nyo. Okay? So, that is society. Also, okay, so sabi dito, it is a group of individuals which is characterized by common interest and may have distinctive culture and institution. So, eto na po yung sinasabi ko kanina, meron kayong common interest. Ano yung common interest nyo as a class? Okay, so ang common interest nyo is to pass successfully and to graduate on time. Okay, so your class, your section is considered as a society. Okay, ganun din yung kabuuang community ng CSPC. It is also considered as a society. Kasi in CSPC, meron tayong meron tayong mission. Okay, na wala natin sa poverty, out of poverty yung ating community. So yun yung common interest natin. That is why we are considered as a society. Okay? So I hope medyo naliliwanagan na kayo doon sa tatlong terms. Okay, so let us summarize it. So pag sinabi nating science, that is the process of acquiring knowledge. Okay? And then pag sinabi nating technology, it is the application of scientific knowledge for the people. Okay, yung application na yun para magamit ng tao. At sino yung mga tao na yun? We, the society. Okay? The group of people who uses technology and who are studying science. Okay po? So, who are studying science. So, yung application po na yun, ayan, so kung mapapansin nyo, nag-aral through scientific method, nagkaroon ng scientific knowledge. Yung scientific knowledge na yun, i-apply para maging teknolohiya. Okay? And then yung technology na yun, makakatulong yun sa group of people to solve their problems. Okay? So, ngayon, the next question that we are going to answer is that, okay, how do science, technology, and society interact with each other or how they are related? So, paano ba nag-i-interact yung tatlong terms na ito? Okay? So, again, we have science, technology, and society. So, in this figure, okay, I'm showing you in this figure, this is how the three terms or the three important variable, the science, technology, and society interact with each other. So, kung mapapansin niyo po dito sa image na ito, sabi dito, science informs technology. Ano ba yung ini-inform ng science sa technology? Okay? Yung knowledge na nag-gather nila through scientific method, ifinifeed nila yon sa technology. And in return, etong technology demands more. Sige, pag-aralan nyo pa to para mas maging maayos yung technology nito. Example nga, yung washing machine. So, yung technology demands more from science. Ano pa kaya yung ibang feature para mas maging mapaganda natin yung washing machine? So, eto naman si science, keep on doing scientific method. Okay, sige, mag-research tayo. Ano kaya yung mga magaganda pang dapat na ilagay na feature sa makabagong washing machine. Ayan. So, that is the time i-inform niya ulit yung technology. And in return, ito naman si technology, hindi siya nakokontento. Gusto niya mga makabago pa. Ayan, so that is why mag-expect na po kayo na in the coming years, okay, may mga makabagong teknolohiya na mag-i-emerge kasi nga po si technology keep on demanding more from science. Okay? And sa kabilang dako naman, etong technology sa pagdidemand niya ng madami sa science, okay? So sa pagdidemand niya ng madami kay science, technology make the life easier of the society. So ito naman si technology, sige dahil nagdidemand ako kay science, ito naman na pagdemand ko ay para sa ikagagaan ng buhay. Okay? Kakagaan ng buhay ng mga tao that belongs to the society. Kaya nga po, in return, yung society benefits from technology. 'Di ba? Okay, so dati yung mga letters natin, ang tagal bago makarating sa ating sesendan. But because of the development in information technology, hindi mo pa nga kiniklik, ayun nandoon na, napadala mo na yung message. So we, the society or the group of people, in return benefits from technology. Okay, and technology makes our life easier. At sa kabilang banda naman, ayan, si society naman, okay? So, it demands more on science. Kasi si science po, it seeks to improve the welfare of society. Okay? So, sabi ni science, sige, pag-aaralan namin ito. Sige, like today, okay, yung vaccination, yung vaccine, okay? Yung vaccine na po yan, di ba before wala namang vaccine. With the help of science, nag-undergo ng trial and error, ng scientific method. Kaya po, okay, nakadiscover sila ngayon ng vaccine. Okay, kaya pinagro-roll out na yung vaccine because it seeks to improve para hindi na ma-infect yung ibang tao, okay? So, i-improve yung life ng society. And in return, eto naman si society, it demands more from science. Sige, ano pa yung mga madidiscover nyo? Ano ba yan? Meron bang vaccine na walang side effect? Meron bang vaccine na kahit isang dose lang, di ba? Yung sa Johnson & Johnson, isang dose lang, fully vaccinated ka na. So, that's how science and society interact. So, kung mapapansin nyo dito, etong tatlong ito, they are really interacting with each other. So, sabi dito, technology is the use or application of scientific knowledge for a specific goal or purpose to make the life of the society easier. Ito yung nag-feed ng scientific knowledge kay technology. Ito yung gumagawa ng mga devices, ng mga services to make the life easier of the society. Okay, so ito in summary. So ito na nga po yung sinasabi ko. Science explores for the purpose of knowing. Okay, paano magkakaroon ng knowledge, scientific knowledge. And technology explores for the purpose of making something useful from that knowledge. Kasi, kapag scientific knowledge lang at hindi mo in-apply, it's useless. Okay? So, kapag walang application yung na-discover mo, okay? Pag wala yung application, it's useless. So, technology now explores for the purposes of making something useful from that knowledge. And, in return, okay? So, eto namang society, it explores science and technology for a better life. 'Di ba yung society, yung mga scientists natin, tayo, mga students, mga teachers, tayo ang nag-explore ng science. What can we do more about science? Okay, nag-experiment tayo. Ayan. We also explore the different technologies that we have now to make our life easier. Katulad nito, 'di ba, wala naman before, wala namang online classes. Okay? Pero ngayon, with the aid of technology and because of the demand of the global pandemic, we are pushed. Okay, we are pushed to go through, okay, our distance learning or blended learning with the aid of this technology. So, 'di ba, kahit hindi ka maligo, basta mag-ayos ka lang, pwede ka nang maka-attend ng klase. Okay, kahit wala kang pamasahe, pwede kang maka-attend ng klase. Unlike before, nung face-to-face, purely face-to-face pa tayo, ayan, so hindi ka makaka-attend kung wala kang pamasahe, kung wala kang baon, wala kang pangkain. Ayan, so somehow, okay, meron pa ding opportunity. Okay? Meron pa ding opportunity behind this global pandemic. Ang dami nating na-explore, na akala natin hindi natin kaya, pero kaya pala natin. So, I would like to see the brighter side of this pandemic. Gawin niyo tong opportunity to explore yourself. Ayan, to express yourself. Wag puro negative. Wag nyo tong gawin ano ba yan? Ang pandemic na to, ang daming problemang So, it depends on how you look at things. Okay, so kung titingnan mo to as negative side, it's up to you. Okay, kung gagawin mo tong opportunity na, because of global pandemic, nakasama ko ng intact yung family ko. Ayan. So, before, hindi ko naman to ginagawa, pero discover ko sa sarili ko, kaya ko pala tong gawin. Ayan. So, it depends on how you look at things. Okay? And I hope you are looking at it positively. Wag lang mag-positive sa COVID. So, we need to keep safe. Okay? So, let me continue. So, the following slides will tell you how science and technology interact with each other and at the same time with society. So, sabi dito, science drives technology by making new technology possible through scientific breakthroughs. So, sabi dito, yung science daw ang nagda-drive ng technology. So, kung wala yung knowledge na discover through scientific method, hindi po uusad ang ating teknolohiya. Lagi nyo po yung tatandaan. Okay? So, kung yung mga flying cars, ayan, so it undergoes scientific method. Yung mga airplane, bakit tayo meron na ngayong airplane, bakit tayo ngayon ay meron ng mga sasakyan, ayan. So, that is because of science. So, kung wala po yung science, technology will never be possible. Ayan. So, that's how science and technology, mag-get together. Ayan. So, another is that, engineers focus on using science to develop products. So, 'di ba? So, some of you, okay, so future engineers, okay, some of you are future entrepreneurs, okay? So, dun sa isang section na manunod din nitong video na to, so yung BS Entrep, okay, then yung ibang sections na handle ko, mga future mechanical engineers. So, dito po, so we focus on using science, okay? Example, yung mga bridges, okay, for future engineers. Yung mga bridges na gagawin nyo in the near future, okay? So, ang gamit nyo pong doon, ang gamit nyong background dyan is science. Ilan yung ratio ng cement, ilan yung ratio ng gravel, ilan yung ratio ng water, ilang kabilya, kung ano-ano pa. So, kailangan nyo ng knowledge ng science. Measurement, ano pa ba? Yung thermal expansion, ayan. So, you need that science knowledge para makadevelop kayo ng magandang produkto. Just like in entrepreneur. Okay, hindi pwede sa entrepreneur, hindi pwedeng basta-basta ka lang maglo-launch ng product. Okay, so that product must undergo scientific method. Okay, bago mo yan i-launch. Okay, example, meron kang ilo-launch na bagong version ng pandesal. That is a very common example. Example lang. So, maglo-launch ka ng bagong version ng pandesal. Ano ba yung kakaiba doon sa pandesal na yun para yun ay tangkilikin ng mga tao? Baka pares lang naman yun sa existing pandesal. So, dapat meron kang something na ilalagay doon na dapat safe sa tao, tapos affordable. Ayan. So, dapat it should undergo scientific method. So, pag-aaralan mo, pag dinagyan ko pala to ng ganito, anong magiging ano magiging kalalabasan. Pag linagyan ko ng ganito, ano magiging kalabasan. And then, through experimentation, makakaproduce ka ng magandang produktong pang market. Okay, so, yung science and technology, hindi lang siya sa engineering, even in different fields. Okay, so kailangan ng kailangan talaga po ng science knowledge, okay, to develop a quality products in any field. Okay? So another, without technology, some science experiments would not be possible. So ito naman in return naman, so kung dati technology nakadepende sa science, ito naman po kabaliktaran. So sabi dito, without technology, some experiments would not be possible. For example, ayan, so current. So yung pong pag-detect, okay ha, yung pag-detect ng mga nagpa-positive sa COVID-19. So, without technology, kung wala yung PCR, ayan, yung nagde-detect ng kung meron kang virus sa iyong katawan, okay, hindi malalaman ng ating mga scientist, hindi malalaman ng ating mga doctor that you are positive. So, ito yung ibig sabihin dito, without technology, yung mga PCR test, yung mga rapid test, kung wala yung makabagong teknolohiya sa pag-detect noon, nako, hindi naman pwedeng umuubo-ubo lang, isusuppose mo kaagad na COVID yun. Hindi po pwede. So, without technology, some science experiments would not be possible. Ayan. So, ganun po ka-importante yung interaction ng science and technology. So, hindi sila pwedeng paghiwalayin. So, they come in together. Okay? Another here is that without science, ito naman, kabaliktaran naman siya. So, kanina, without technology, hindi magiging successful yung science experimentation. And dito naman, without science, technology could not proceed. Okay, so sabi dito, science is a way of knowing and technology is a way of doing. So sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, yung mga vaccine, okay? Yung vaccine na meron tayo, wala po. Vaccine is an example of technology. It's an application of scientific knowledge. Okay? So kung hindi nag-aral yung ating mga scientists, mga doctors about that vaccine, there will be no vaccine at all. Okay, so kung wala yung science knowledge, walang mabubuong vaccine. Okay? So I hope this is clear to you. So another here is that the very questions that scientists ask are shaped by the available technology. So ito naman po, sa outer space, hindi naman yun makikita ng ating naked eye without yung mga makabagong technology, mga rockets, mga spaceships, ano pa ba, yung mga camera sa space, ayan. So, sabi dito, yung mga questions na itinatanong ng mga scientist ay nakadepende dun sa available na technology na meron tayo. 'Di ba? Yung pinaka-recent ngayon, yung Mars rover. Ayan, yung pinadala doon sa Mars, nag-aaral doon sa surface ng Mars kung eto ba ay habitable ng tao. Ayan, so yung question, nakadepende yun sa makabagong teknolohiyang meron tayo. So that's another interesting interaction between science and technology. So before, nung hindi pa na-discover yung mga spaceship na yan, yung mga rover na yan, hindi naman natin alam na meron palang outer space. Okay, so ngayon, nag-develop yung science and technology, na-discover natin, ay, meron palang ganyang, aside from Earth, meron palang ibang planets. Ayan, kaya nga meron na tayong solar system. So, before po, hindi naman yan alam ng mga sinaunang tao. Ayan, so because of the development in technology, we were able to explore the space, okay, outer space, the universe. Ayan, so napakaganda ng interaction ng science and technology. Ayan po. So another here, so as you can see here, yung interaction ng science and technology, ang palaging nagbe-benefit niyan is society. Okay? Mag-discover ang science, i-apply ng technology para yan sa society. And of course, itong interaction ng tatlo to make a better world. Okay, para mas maging para mas maging better yung ating mundo. But okay, I will ask you this very interesting question, and I want to hear you during our synchronous class. Do you think the advancement in technology, isipin niyo to etong question na to kasi tatanong ko to sa next synchronous class natin. So, do you think the advancement in science and technology make our world better? Better or worse? Okay, so pag-isipan nyo yan. Hindi ko yan sasagutin dito. So, it's a question for you to ponder. Okay, so mag-isip-isip kayo. Yun bang development sa science and technology make our world better or worse? Okay, I'll be excited to know your answer in that interesting question. Okay, so let me proceed for the next question. Next to the interaction of science and technology, the next question is is it important to study science, technology, and society as a whole? And the question is why? Why do we need to study science, technology, and society? Ito ba ay importante sa atin? Ano ba ang makukuha ko dyan, ma'am? Bakit kailangan kong mag-attend sa mga online classes natin? Ayan, so sasagutin natin yan dito sa mga susunod na slides. So, I hope you are still listening and you are learning from this discussion. Okay? So, the third question that we're going to answer is what is science, technology, and society? After defining the science, technology, and society, how they interact with each other, ano ngayon yung pinagsama-samang science, technology, and society or tinatawag nating STS? Ano ba to? Okay, so sabi dito, STS is a relatively young field. So, bagong-bago lang po ito. That combines previously independent and older disciplines such as history of science, philosophy of science, and sociology of science. So, kung mapapansin nyo po dito, ito po kasing history, philosophy, and sociology, those are separated disciplines or kung titingnan natin to, magkakaiba po itong subjects. Ngayon, ang ginawa ng ating mga educators, ating mga scientists, pinag-isa po nila ang history of science, philosophy, and sociology of science. Kaya meron tayo ngayong science, technology, and society. So, very young pa lang po itong field na ito. Okay? So, kaya kung mapapansin nyo dito lalo na dito sa discussion na ito, babalikan natin yung mga history of science. Okay, ano ba yung mga kaganapan? Ano ba yung mga na-discover nung unang panahon? So, kasi part siya ng kung saan nanggaling yung field na science, technology, and society. Okay? So, it applies methods drawn from history, sabi ko nga, philosophy and sociology to study the nature of science and technology and ultimately judge their value and place in society. So, ang pinaka bottom line lang nitong term na ito, etong subject na ito, it draws from history. Okay, ang dami nating babalikang history about philosophy. Ano ba yung mga philosophical underpinnings ng mga philosophers before? Ayan, so paano natin, para maintindihan natin yung nature of science and technology, so kailangan natin yung balikan sa subject na ito. Ano po? So, STS seeks to bridge, the gap between two traditionally exclusive culture. So, binibridge niya daw yung gap between humanities and natural sciences. Okay? So, itong sa humanities, arts, okay, all about arts. Then yung natural sciences, ito po yung biology, physics, chemistry. Ayan, so that human will be able to better confront the moral, ethical, and existential dilemmas brought by the continued developments in science and technology. So dito daw po, kapag na-bridge ng STS yung gap between humanities and natural sciences, may intindihan natin na tama pa ba? It is morally right or it is ethically right na yung mga scientists natin, they are continuously developing this technology. Ini-edit na nila yung tao. Okay? So tayo bilang mga part ng society natin, we need to reflect. Okay, tama pa ba yung pinaggagawa natin sa mundong ibabaw? Are we playing the role of gods by editing the genes of those people. So, dito po yun papasok. Okay? So, sabi dito, it is bridging the gap between humanities and natural sciences. So, magre-reflect tayo dito na yun bang continuous development in science and technology ay tama pa? Is it morally, ethically upright? Okay? So, napaka-interesting nitong subject nito kasi nga, dito mapag-iisip-isip ka, ay, tama ba na i-avail ko yung technology na ito kahit ethically mali siya, morally mali siya? Ayan, so, yan ang kinaganda nitong subject na ito. Ano po? So, another here is that STS is that study how social, political, and cultural values affect scientific research and technological innovation, and how this in turn affects society, politics, and culture. So, kung mapapansin, makikita nyo dito, this is the STS cycle. Meron tayong mga social values, meron tayong political values. Yung mga social, political, and cultural values na yun, nakakaapekto sa kung ano yung magiging scientific research natin. Okay? For example, ayan, so etong ano na to, etong pandemic na ito. Okay? So, nakadepende ang mga pinag-aaralan ng ating mga scientists. Depende kung ano yung mga social, political, and cultural values na meron tayo. Halimbawa, hindi okay sa atin na pag-aralan yung mga nagkaroon ng COVID because culturally, socially, nakakahiya kapag i-disclose mo yung mga pangalan ng mga nagka-COVID-19. Hindi naman so totally nakakahiya. Parang in the part dun ng mga, kasi di ba meron tayong mga discrimination. Okay? So, maapektuhan nun yung scientific research. Imbis na magiging reliable, okay? Imbis na magiging reliable yung result ng research ng ating mga scientists about the occurrence of COVID-19 sa Pilipinas, naapektuhan siya kasi nga, meron tayong mga social values and mga cultural values na ayaw kong maging part ng research na yan kasi ayaw kong ma-disclose na ako ay naging positive sa COVID. So, one is example yon, okay? So, that is an example how our social, political, and cultural values affect scientific research. And, in effect, dahil naapektuhan yung validity ng scientific research, naapektuhan din po yung ating mga technology innovation. So, hindi natin ngayon mawari kung ano ba yung mga innovation na kailangan nating gawin para matapos na tong pandemic na ito. Okay? So, yan, this is how. Okay? And in return, dahil naapektuhan yung technology innovation, imbes na uusad na tayo sa pandemic na ito, iba katulad ng ibang bansa, they successfully conquered or defeated global pandemic. So, in return, mapaapektuhan yung ating mga social, political, and cultural values. Lalo ngayon, di ba? Ang daming intriga when it comes to the budget, okay, ng DOH, ang dami. So, hindi ako nag-ano dun kasi it's very stressful. Okay, so I prefer to just to do my best to be kapakipakinabang na citizen ng Pilipinas kasi yung mga problema na yun hindi natin yun mapipigilan na tayo lang. Ayan, so ano yung dapat nating gawin ngayon? Ano yung kaya nating gawin para makatulong tayo sa bansa? Okay? You study well, I teach well, I will do my best. Then, yun, in that way, I think we are helping our country. Okay? Kahit hindi tayo makatulong dun in terms of corruption kasi ibang level yun eh. So, kung gusto mo makatulong when it comes to that problem, so mag-level up ka. Kasi tayo mga ordinary citizen, so far, hindi tayo makakatulong pa doon sa panahon ngayon. But I believe, baka yung isa sa inyo, ayan, maging secretary ng budget, ayan. So, we'll never know. Ayan. So, sa ngayon, yun muna ang ating magagawa. So, going back, so ito pong STS cycle na ito, kaya siya sinabing cycle kasi ano man ang pagbabago dito, it will affect this. Ano man ang epekto dito, it will affect this. And in return, it will affect us as the whole society. Okay, so kung makikita mo dito, nandito yung society, nandito yung scientific knowledge. Ayan, yung scientific knowledge, it affects the technology innovation. And in return, yung technology innovation, it affects us as society. Okay? So those are the interesting thing about science, technology, and society. That is why we need to study it kasi this will give us an idea paano na shape yung society natin na gamit yung mga scientific knowledge na discover ng mga scientists na ina-apply through technology innovation. Okay? So, napaka-interesting ng subject na ito. I hope nakikita nyo din nun. Interesting. Ano po? So, we come now to the last part. Actually, so the last part, di ba nabanggit ko kanina, we will take a look at the history. So, bibilisan ko lang po yung sa last part na ito kasi more on siya. Ano ba yung mga na-discover nung unang panahon? Okay, so for the question, what are the historical antecedents that changed the course of science and technology? So, eto ngayon yung historical antecedents of science and technology. Actually, in this recorded video discussion, 2 parts po ito. Ito na yung second part. Tapos na tayo doon sa history ng STS, nature ng STS. Dito na tayo sa second part and probably the last question. So, I hope you're still there. Okay, so panuorin mo pa din ito hanggang dulo. Okay, wag mo kong iiwan because at the end of this video, merong important question and important announcement at the end of this video. Okay? So let me proceed. So sabi ni Sir Winston Churchill, okay? So those who do not learn history are doomed to repeat it. So, yung mga hindi daw nag-aaral ng history, ayan, so pailaw muna ako, may pailaw si Mayora, ayan. So, yung mga hindi daw po nag-aaral ng history, ay probably, uulitin nila yung history na yon, which is hindi maganda. Kasi, nangyari na nga sa history, bakit uulitin mo pa, lalo na kung pagkakamali. Okay? So, kapag inulit mo na lang yon, there's no development at all. Okay? So, pag sinabi nating antecedents, it is defined as a precursor to the unfolding of existence of something. Bakit meron tayo ngayong cellphone? Bakit meron tayo ngayong television? Saan ba yan nanggaling? So, ito po yung ibig sabihin nito. Paano nagkaroon ng something na meron tayo sa kasalukuyan? Okay? Ano yung nangyari nung nakaraan? Bakit meron tayong mga makabagong technology ngayon? So, yun yung part nitong nitong mga susunod na slides. So, antecedents of science and technology are factors that paved way for the presence of advanced and sophisticated scientific and technological innovations today. So, this is exactly what I am referring now. So, yung mga sinaunang discoveries, yun po yung naging daan, naging daan sa kung anong meron tayong mga advanced and sophisticated scientific and technological innovation. Okay, so kung wala yung talino ng ating mga sinaunang scientist, siguro hindi tayo ngayong panahon na to, hindi tayo ganun ka-advanced and ka-sophisticated. Ano po? So, we can use the historical developments of science and technology to come up with proper decisions and application of science and technology to daily life. So, yung historical development na yun, nakatulong yun sa atin para makapag-decide tayo properly, okay? And ma-apply natin ng maayos yung science and technology sa ating mga buhay-buhay. Okay? So, dito po sa historical antecedents, okay, pag-uusapan natin dito yung ancient. Ano yung mga discovery during the ancient time, during the Middle Age, and the modern times. Okay, so dito po, etong ancient time, it leads to the modern age, and the Middle Age rather. The Middle Age leads to the modern ages. Okay? So, let me start with the ancient period. Ayan. So, baka makita nyo dito. Yun palang ginagamit ko ngayon ay galing pala dyan sa ancient period. Okay? So, let me start with this. So, sabi dito, ancient civilization paved the way for advances in science and technology. So, yung mga sinaunang sibilisasyon, ayan, Egyptian, Sumerian, yan, narinig nyo yan nung high school kayo, diba? Sa history nyo. So, sila, yung mga sinaunang sibilisasyon, sila ang naging daan para magkaroon ng mga advances in science and technology. Okay, so these advances during the ancient period allowed civilizations to flourish by finding better ways of communication, transportation, self-organization, and ways of living. So yung mga kaisipan ng mga sinaunang tao, yun yung dahilan kung bakit nag-advance tayo when it comes to communication, transportation, and other aspects of life. So unang-una dyan is yung ancient wheel. Nako, kung wala tong ancient wheel na ito, baka ngayon ay nako, baka naglalakad pa din tayo. Ayan, so this is an ancient wheel. Okay? So, people from ancient civilization use animals as a means of transportation. So, nilalagay nila ito, di-device sila or nagko-construct sila ng parang sasakyan, then linalagyan nila nitong wheel. So, syempre, may scientific knowledge behind that wheel. Diba? Ang wheel, kapag pinaikot mo, okay, magmo-move talaga siya. Okay, so yun yung isa scientific knowledge. So sabi dito, the invention of ancient wheel is credited to the Sumerians. Okay, so sila yung credited sa paka-discover, okay, or paka-develop ng ancient wheel. Okay? So ito yung naging simula ng lahat ng kung ano man meron tayong mode of transportation. Okay? Bus, bicycle, tricycle, ayan, lahat yan gumagamit ng wheel. Okay? So, another application of this is the potter's wheel. Ayan, yung paggawa ng mga paso. Ayan. So, galing siya dito sa ancient wheel. So, siguro napagtanto ng mga unang tao, ay, umiikot yung wheel. What if ilagay natin siya sa paggawa ng pot? 'Di ba? Kasi paggawa ng kapag paggawa ng mga vases, kailangan talagang nahuhulma, dapat umiikot. So, yun yung nagkaroon ng idea yung mga sinaunang tao. What if ilagay natin yung wheel sa ilalim? So, yun, nagkaroon na ngayon ng potter's wheel. Ayan. So, another invention during the ancient period is that the paper. Ayan. So, around 3000 BC, the ancient Egyptians naman ito. So, kung yung wheel is for Sumerians, so ito namang paper ay naimbento po ito ng mga Egyptians. Okay? When they began writing on papyrus. Dito po nanggaling ang word na paper. So, dito sa papyrus. So, yan yung material. Okay? It is made up from a pit of plant called Cyperus, did I pronounce it correctly? Cyperus papyrus. Okay? So, dyan po galing. Before, the invention of papyrus writing and record keeping is done on stones and tablets. So, ito yung nabanggit ko kanina. So, this is an example of papyrus. So, before, nung sinauna-una pang panahon, before the Egyptians came, okay, yung mga unang tao, nagsusulat sila sa mga stones. Ayan. So, gamit yung mga matatalim na bagay, ayan, nagsusulat sila. And then, siguro, sabi ng mga Egyptians, ano kaya yung ibang way para mas napadali natin yung record keeping, yung pagsusulat. Ayan. So, here comes the papyrus or ngayong panahon na to, yung papel. And alam nyo kung gaano kaimportante ang papel. Lagi nyong tatandaan, everything that is not written doesn't exist. Tandaan nyo yan, ha? So, if you have a dream, okay, kung may mga pangarap kayo sa buhay, isulat mo. Okay, so, papakaanuhan ko kayo ng example kung gaano ka-importante yung invention na ito. I have here a notebook. Okay, so, ang masyado akong magsulat, mahigos. Mahigos po akong magsulat. So, everything na gusto kong ma-accomplish, everything na goal na gusto kong matupad, lahat po yan isinusulat ko. Lagi niyong tandaan, ha? From me. Tandaan niyo, huwag niyong kakalimutan yung aral na to. Everything that is not written on paper, okay, even in soft copy, okay, kahit yan sa basta isulat mo, okay, everything that is not written doesn't exist. So, gawin yung habit ang magsulat. Okay? Kasi malaking bagay po ang pagsusulat. And because of this invention, from the ancient period, we were able to have this paper. Okay? So, let me proceed. So, meron din tayong tinatawag na shadow. Okay? So, shadow, ito po yung itsura ng shadow. Okay? So, this was This is a tool invented again and used by the ancient Egyptians to irrigate land. Ayan. So, ito naman ginagamit ng mga Egyptians to irrigate land. It is a hand-operated device used for lifting water. So, ang pinaka-idea nito, merong balde. Ayan. So, sabi dito, its invention introduced the idea of lifting things using counterweights. So, nakikita niyo yung ano nito, yung application nito na if you want to lift something, dapat meron kang ilalagay something sa dulo. Galing po yun dito sa invention na yon. So, para sila ay mapadali, okay, mapadali yung kanilang pagbuhat kasi, take note ha, ito babae ito. Eto lalaki. So, para sila ay makakuha ng water, so they are putting something that is heavy at the end of this shadow para at least matulungan sila. Okay? Yung ano bang tawag natin doon kapag nililift natin, yung potential energy. Ayan. So, natutulungan tayo in storing potential energy nitong shadow na ito. So, sa panahon ngayon, meron itong mga application. 'Di ba? Kapag nagko-construction, 'di ba? So kapag nasa second floor, okay, yung nagbubuhos, okay? So ang ginagawa natin, ililalagay natin yung mga balde ng mga halo, tapos kinagaano siya, merong something na pabigat, and then tinataas na lang natin. So that is one of the application of this shadow invented by the ancient Egyptians. So ang dami pa nitong application. Ayan. So sana makita nyo yan sa paligid nyo kung ano mga application nito. Ano po? So, another here, meron tayong tinatawag na Antikythera mechanism. Antikythera, I hope I pronounced it correctly. Antikythera mechanism. So, ano ba to? Okay? So, ito po yun. Ito yung totoo. Ayan. Ito yung totoong Antikythera mechanism. So, this Antikythera was discovered in 1902. Okay? And this was retrieved from the waters of Antikythera, Greece. Kaya po galing doon yung pangalan niyang Antikythera. Okay? So, na-discover po ito sa waters ng Greece. And then, this is the world's oldest known mechanical computer. Imagine, before, this is the mechanical computer of the ancient Greeks. Okay? Imaginein mo yan. That is the oldest known mechanical computer. It is a mechanism similar to a clock. Diba? Kita nyo yung itsura. For it has a circular face and rotating hands. Okay? So, it is believed that this mechanism is used to predict astronomical positions and eclipses. So, imagine niyo nung mga sinaunang tao during the ancient period, ito na yung considered nila as computer, and they are using it to predict astronomical positions and eclipses. So, I have here a link. Okay, so if you want to know more about this invention, you can click this. Okay, i-click nyo lang po itong link na ito, then mapapanood nyo po in detail kung ano tong invention na ito. By the way, I'll be posting the material that I've used in our Google Classroom. Don't worry. I'll make sure that you will have a copy of this presentation. Okay, so let me continue. So, again, this is the ito na po yung modern niyang pinag-restore. Okay, nasa museum ito, hindi ko lang maalala kung anong pangalan ng museum, basta sa ibang bansa siya. So, bali, ito yung restored na itsura. Yan, so, it's just like a compass, okay, to detect direction, ayan. So, ayan po yung itsura nitong Antikythera mechanism. Ito na yung modern modern version. Ayan. So, another here, meron tayong iolopile. Ayan. So, ano naman tong iolopile na ito? Ayan. So, this is known as the Heron's engine. Ano ba yung Heron's engine na ito? Okay, so, it is the world's first steam engine. Okay, ang tawag doon ay iolopile. Okay, so ito daw yung tinatawag na world's first steam engine, which spins as the water container at its center is heated. Okay, so sabi dito, at first, it doesn't serve any practical purposes. It is believed to be one of the temple's wonders at that time. So, nung una, hindi nila naiintindihan kung para saan to. And I know you, sa mga panahong ito, alam nyo kung ano ang pinaka application ng steam engine. Without that steam engine in a geothermal power plant, the turbine will not spin. So ito po yun, galing po yun dito. Okay? So ang pinaka-idea nito, kapag nainit itong water dito, ang pinaka-idea, etong bilog, nakikita niyo itong bilog, meron niyang dalawang butas or dalawang pipe sa kabilaan. And then, kapag ito ay nainit, it will spin. Okay? Kasi nga po, yung steam, okay, yung steam na nanggagaling sa water, meron siyang thermal energy, yun po yung nagpapaikot dito sa sa bilog na ito. So parang etong idea na ito, yun nga po sa turbine, 'di ba? Especially in geothermal power plant. So ang nagpapaikot po nung turbine sa geothermal power plant is yung steam na nanggagaling doon sa geothermal. Okay, sa ilalim ng lupa, mainit na nanggagaling sa ilalim ng lupa. So, galing po yun dito. And alam nyo kung gaano ka-importante ang geothermal power plant. Okay? So, nanggagaling dyan mostly yung kinokonsume nating electricity. Okay? So, 'di ba? Can you see how our ancient people paved the way to the discoveries of this advanced technology that we are enjoying now? Okay, another here. Okay, so tapos na tayo dun sa ancient period. Ayan, so dito na ngayon tayo sa Middle Ages. Ayan, yung para tayong nanonood ng history movie ba? Ayan, so during the Middle Ages naman, so kung yung ancient period siya ang nag-pave way, okay, into the sophistication of science and technology. Ito naman sa Middle Age naman, the take note of that, major advances in scientific and technological development took place in this period. Kumbaga, during the ancient period, nagsisimula ng mag-isip yung tao. And then, during the Middle Age, dito na ngayon, mas nag-isip. Okay? Because major advances in scientific and technological development took place during this period. This advancement includes constant increase of new inventions, innovations in traditional production, and the emergence of scientific thinking and method. So dito po sa period na ito, mas lalong nakilala or mas lalong sinunod yung scientific method when it comes to discovering scientific knowledge. Okay? So, ito yung mga invention during this period. So, let us start with a heavy plow. Okay? So, ito po ay yung ibang farmers natin ay gumagamit pa po nito. Ayan. So, yung heavy plow, okay, the heavy plow turned European agriculture and economy on its head. The fields with heavy, potty soil became those that gave the greatest yield, according to Professor Thomas Anderson. Okay? Because of the invention of heavy plow, Northern Europe saw rapid economic prosperity. So, nang dahil daw dito, napadali nga naman yung pagbubungkal ng lupa. And until now, there are farmers who are still using this technology. Okay, so may kalabaw, tapos merong ano ba yan? Ito, plow mismo. Ayan, so para bungkalin yung lupa. Pero yung makabagong technology natin dito ngayon is mga tractors na. Okay, so malaking tractor, and then yun na yung nagbubungkal. That's another advanced technology na siya. Modern technology. Okay? So, another here is the gunpowder. Ayan. So, eto pong gunpowder, around 850 AD, Chinese alchemists accidentally invented the gunpowder. Okay, yung pinangbabala sa baril. Okay, prior to the invention of the gunpowder, swords and spears were used in the battles and war. So the invention of gunpowder had allowed advanced warfare such as fiery arrows, cannons, and grenades. So imagine, during the Middle Age, dyan po nagsimulang magkaroon ng mga baril. Kasi nga po na-discover ng mga Chinese or ng Chinese alchemist yung gunpowder. Dyan na nagkaroon ng mga granada, mga kanyon na ginagamit sa war. Okay, before, swords tsaka mga spears lang kasi wala pa namang baril nung unang panahon. Ayan. So, eto ngayon, during this period, nagkaroon na ng gunpowder. Okay, so another invention during the Middle Age is that the paper money. Ayan. So, paper money was first used by the Chinese in the 17th century. Yan, yung Mickey Mouse money. Before the introduction of paper money, merchants and traders used precious metals such as gold and silver. They realized that using paper money brought advantages because it is easier to keep and to transport. Ayan. So, during this time, yung Middle Age, that is the time that we use, the Chinese first use the paper money. Kasi nga naman, mas madali nga naman siyang ibulsa compared sa mga metals such as gold, silver. Mawala mo pa yan, malaking malaking kawalan. Samantalang ang pera, pwedeng barya, pwedeng papel, ayan. So, the paper money was used during the 17th century by the Chinese. Okay, during this Middle Age period. Okay, another is the mechanical clock. Ayan. So, the development of mechanical clock help the people. Ito po siya mismo. Ayan. So, help people in accurately keeping the track of time. Okay, the sophistication of clockwork technology drastically changed the way of spending the day and work patterns were established. So, nung na-discover itong mechanical clock na ito, nagkaroon na ng day and night. So, before, okay lang, trabaho lang ng mga tao, di nila alam kung araw na ba, kung anong oras na. So, kahit ngayon, di ba, napaka-importante nitong clock sa atin kasi ito yung nagsisignal sa atin na, we need to take a rest. Okay, we need to go home, we need to eat, okay, because of the time given to us by mechanical clock. Okay, so another discovery is the spinning wheel. Ayan, so this spinning wheel, it is a machine used to transform fiber into thread or yarn and eventually woven into cloth. Okay, so it is theorized. So, eto daw po, etong machine na ito, ang trina-transform nito, example, yung abaka. Okay? So, abaka, makakakuha dyan ng fiber. Okay? Using this spinning wheel, ita-transform niya or i-convert niya into thread or yarn or mga sinulid. Okay? Then, kapag pinag-weaven siya, magiging na siyang tela. Okay? So, dito po nanggaling ang textile industry. Okay? So, it is theorized that the Indians are the one invented the spinning wheel between 6th and 11th century. So, imagine niyo kung hindi ito na-imbento ng mga Indians. Do you think meron tayo nitong mga damit na ito na sinusuot natin kung wala itong spinning wheel na ito? Okay, so it speed up the rate of manually spinning fiber by 10 to 100 times. So during this time, Middle Age, nagkaroon na ng mas mabilis pa na pag-transfer ng fiber into thread and into cloth. Okay? And then habang nagde-develop, mamaya makikita nyo, ayan, during the modern age, nagkaroon pa ng development about that spinning wheel. Okay? So nagkaroon pa ng development and tingnan natin kung ano yung development na yun. So, sabi dito, modern ages, historical period when people realized the importance of efficiency of transportation, communication, and production. So, makikita niyo yung pagkakaiba ng mga periods. During the ancient time, doon pa lang nagsimulang mag-isip ang tao. Then, during the Middle Age, nagkaroon na ng mas nagkaroon ng advances when it comes to science and technology. And pagdating ng modern age, na-realize na ng mga tao na, dapat pala, when it comes to transportation, communication, and production, dapat yung gagamitin natin is efficient. Okay? Or mas hindi magastos, kaya nga efficient siya. Okay, so industrialization took place but with greater risk on human health food safety, and environment. So, dito na nagsimula yung mga nagkaroon na ng epekto sa health ng human, sa safety ng food, kasi then yung environment natin, nagsimula ng ma-pollute, kasi nga po, mga makabagong teknolohiya na, especially sa transportation. Kasi eto yung mga discoveries during this time. Okay? So, the first important discovery na talagang napaka-importanting discovery during the modern age is telescope. Okay? So, this was invented by Galileo Galilei that can magnify 20 times larger than our regular glasses. Okay? So, ako po meron akong Galileo scope. Ayan, telescope siya na parang ganito. Okay, and ang ganda niya kasi kaya niya talagang makakita ng mga distant objects, yung moon. Okay, I was able to look at the crater of the moon. Ayan, so kapag nag face to face na tayo, pwede ko yun sa inyo kung ano pa tayo, ongoing pa yung klase natin. Pahiram ko sa inyo and makikita niyo yung crater ng moon. Ayan, so the Galileo Galilei. Galileo scope galing sa inventor ng telescope. So, this is used to discover important astronomical features like the moon's crater and stars. Ang ganda ng crater ng moon. Ayan, so pag nakita nyo, lalo na kapag kabilugan ng buwan, and even eclipses, ayan, kitang-kita po doon sa telescope na yun. So, napakaganda nitong discovery na ito. Kasi hindi natin makikita ng naked eye natin ng malapitan. Parang tuldok lang yan. Pero using telescope, makikita mo talaga yung details ng moon. Ayan. So, another important discovery during the modern age na talagang hanggang ngayon, grabe ang importance, especially ngayong may pandemic. Okay? So, the compound microscope. Okay? So, this is the first compound microscope during the year 1595. So, this was invented by a Dutch named Zacharias Janssen in 1590s. Okay? So, nowadays, microscope is used in many scientific studies in the area of medicine, forensics, and genetics. Ay, nako, this is very significant invention. Kasi hindi natin makikita yung mga pinakamaliit without the aid of microscope. Okay, imagine kung gaano nag-advance yung science and technology during the modern age. Also, during this time, ngayon, ito na yung Jacquard loom. Okay, ito yung advanced version. Ayan. So, this is the advanced version of textile manufacturing. Di ba, naalala niyo yung spinning wheel? Ito yung mas advanced version ng spinning wheel. This was built by French weaver Joseph Marie Jacquard, so galing sa kanya yung pangalan, which simplifies textile manufacturing. Okay, so prior to this invention, a draw loom is used which requires 2 person to operate. So ito po, kung makikita niyo yung spinning wheel, 'di ba? May wheel lang siya, tapos doon inaano yung thread. Ito mas advanced siya. Okay, so mas madali yung paggawa, mas madami ang nagagawa. So ang tawag doon is Jacquard loom. And I know during this present time, mas may mga advanced pa po ang technology nito. Okay? So, another important invention during the modern age is the discovery of engine-powered airplane. Ayan. So, eto po, dito nagsimula. This was invented by Orville Wright and Wilbur Wright. Okay? So, take note of the names. Okay, so they demonstrated that slightly tilted wings are the key features of a flying aircraft. So, na-discover nila, ay, kapag pala slightly tilted, ayan, so through scientific method, slightly tilted yung wings, kaya pala naglumilipad yung mga aircraft. Kaya, ayan, so kung mapapansin nyo, kung nakasakay na kayo ng airplane, ayan, pag nakasakay kayo ng airplane, tingnan nyo yung wings ng airplane. It is slightly tilted, ayan, especially this one. Okay, and then yung paka-tilt niyan, hindi siya totally straight, kundi meron siyang slightly tilted. So, it affects the flying of the airplane. So, that is because of the study of the inventor of this engine-powered airplane. 'Di ba? So ngayon, kahit ikaw ay nasa ibang bansa, pag sumakay ka lang ng airplane within 24 hours, pwede ka makapunta sa iba't ibang bansa. Okay? So another is our first automobile. Okay, so ito yung pinakaunang sasakyan, okay, aside doon sa airplane. So ito yung itsura, okay, ng automobile na pinakaunang-una during the modern age. This is the first stationary gasoline engine developed by Carl Benz. This was a one-cylinder two-stroke unit which ran for the first time on the New Year's Eve in 1879. So, imagine niyo, this is the ano siya, powered na siya ng gasoline. Hindi siya or parang bike lang, pero powered na siya ng gasoline. Okay? So, a lightweight car powered by a gasoline engine in which the chassis and engine form a single unit. So, hindi siya mukha siyang bike, pero hindi siya pinipidalan because this is is a gasoline engine powered car. Okay, so this is considered as the first automobile. Okay, so ayan, this is the one of the most significant discoveries during the modern times, the discovery of television. So before, ganyan po ang itsura ng television. This was invented by Scottish engineer John Lodge Baird in 1920s. Okay, so British Broadcasting Corporation used this for its earliest television programming in 1929. Imagine, meron ng ganon. So, this first television is mechanical and not the same as the television we have nowadays. Malayong-malayo po ito sa television na meron tayo ngayon. So, di ba, ngayon puro na flat screen, yung iba touchscreen pa, yung iba Android TV. So, eto po, mechanical po ito. Meron pong gagalawin dyan sa part ng TV na yun para mag-move. Okay? So, pero, yung mechanism nitong TV na to ang naging dahilan kung bakit meron tayong modern TV as of this time. Okay? So, we're almost done, okay? Because we come now to the 20th century inventors or inventions by Filipino scientists naman. So, yung mga pinakita ko sa inyo, mostly, puro yun foreign scientists. So, tingnan naman natin kung ano naman yung mga naiambag ng ating mga Filipino scientists. Okay, so, ilang slides na lang ito. So, please stay. Okay, so malapit lang na po itong matapos. Again, so meron important announcement at the end of this video. So, you stay there and relax. Okay, so marami ka pang matututuhan dito sa last mga remaining slides. Okay, so tingnan naman natin yung invention or ambag ng ating mga Filipino scientists. So, yung video phone, ayan. So, this is an example of video phone. So, dito nang galing yung idea ng mga video calls na meron tayo sa ating mga Android phone. So, this was discovered by a Filipino scientist or invented named Gregorio Y. Sara. Okay, this is a two-way telephone, kaya siya tinawag na video phone. Okay, this was invented in 1955. So, habang tumatawag ka, dito sa screen na ito, nakikita mo yung kausap mo. Parang katulad ngayon sa natin, sa cellphone natin. Kapag kausap natin yung tao, screen na talaga yung makabagong cellphone natin. So, dito po galing yung video calls na meron tayo. And thank you to our Filipino scientist Gregorio Y. Sara for inventing this technology. 'Di ba? Okay, so another Filipino scientist who invented the medical incubator. This is very important, especially those premature babies. Okay, so this was invented by Fidel Mundo. So ito po si Fidel Mundo. She is the first ASEAN to have entered the Harvard University. So ibig sabihin matalino talaga ito si Maring Fe. Okay? So because he invented the medical incubator. So alam niyo naman kung gaano ka-importante ang incubator. So yan po yung nagsusupply ng buhay ng mga premature babies. Okay? So another invention is the mole remover o pantanggal ng mole. Ayan. So this was invented by Mr. Rolando de la Cruz. Okay? He is credited for the invention of the mole remover, which is made from cashew nuts extract. Okay? So pinag-aralan niya yung cashew. Okay, so gamit yung kanyang naimbentong chemical. Okay, yung mga mole natin, yan katulad nito, pwede siyang matanggal. Ayan, nang hindi nahahalata. Okay, that is because of the discovery of Mr. Rolando de la Cruz. Okay, another invention. Okay, so yung super kalan, okay, is a stove. Okay, alam niyo naman kung paano itong gumamit itong super kalan. Ano po? This was invented by Narciso Mosquera. Okay, that is a stove that can be powered by any substance that burns, yung gagatungan. So, Narciso Mosquera of the Filipino province of La Union invented it and received the Best Design Award. Wow, sobrang nakaka-proud ito from the Food and Agricultural Organization in 1987. Among the substances that can power the super kalan are wood, paper, dried dungs and leaves, corn cobs, and cocoa shells. Mosquera had also invented a functional rice thresher. So ibig sabihin, I think ito si Mr. Narciso, talagang siya, hands-on sa mga sa field. Ayan, imaginein mo naka-discover siya nitong super kalan. And hanggang ngayon, this is very useful. Okay, especially sa mga dirty kitchen, kung meron kang lulutuin na pang matagalan, so dapat meron kang super kalan. Okay, so another proud Filipino scientist. Okay, so meron tayo si Angel Alcala. Okay, he invented the artificial coral reefs. Ayan, so ito po yung itsura ng mga coral reefs. Okay, so Angel Alcala is behind the invention of these artificial coral reefs used for fisheries in Southeast Asia. Take note, hindi lang sa Pilipinas, but in Southeast Asia. And I know you are aware gaano ka-importante ang mga coral reefs. Diyan po namamahay yung mga isda. So because of this artificial coral reef, I'm sure dun sa mga binaglagyan nito, dumami yung ecosystem or dumami yung fish doon sa lugar na yun. Ano po? So sige, thank you to Mr. Angel Alcala. Okay, another Filipino scientist, okay, si Daniel Dingle. Okay, he invented the water-powered car. Okay, so sabi dito, Daniel Dingle started working on a water-powered car and prototype in 1969. His hydrogen reactor uses electricity from a 12-volt car battery to transform ordinary tap water. Imagine tap water with salt into deuterium oxide or heavy water. So, Dingle's car has been patented and commercialized. Okay, commercialized because of what he suspects as an anti-dingle car conspiracy by multinational companies. So, ito po, medyo naging controversial yung discovery nito kasi ang dami niyang babanggaing multinational oil companies. Kaya hindi masyadong na-develop yung discovery na ito. Kasi ang daming sa kanya, ang daming, hoy, bakit ka nagdi-discover ng ganyan? Bakit mo di-discover yung ganyan? Mawawalan kami ng negosyo. Ayan. So, but, nakaka-proud kasi it's a Filipino scientist invention. Okay, so remember this name. It's Daniel Dingle who invented a water-powered car. Okay, so another we have, I think this is the last. So, ayan, tama. This is the last scientist that we will discuss. So, we have Agapito Flores. Okay, he invented the fluorescent lamp. So, galing po sa pangalan niya, yung pangalan ng fluorescent lamp. So, because he is the inventor of that, which is the most widely used source of lighting in the world today. So, the fluorescent lamp reportedly got its name from Flores. Okay, however, Flores was not invented in a particular year. It was the product of 79 years of development of the lighting method that began with the invention of the electric light bulb by Thomas Edison. So originally, yung idea ng fluorescent lamp hindi naman talaga kay Agapito Flores. So galing siya. Okay, this is base. The invention of fluorescent lamp, galing siya doon sa light bulb na na-discover or na-invento ni Thomas Edison. So, di ba magkaiba ang light bulb sa fluorescent lamp? Fluorescent lamp, mahaba siya, then talagang mailaw talaga. So, yung light bulb na alam natin. So, yun yung first na na-invent na nagbibigay talaga ng ilaw, which was invented by Thomas Edison. However, okay, nakaka-proud pa din siya kasi 'di ba, nagkaroon ng innovation. Ibig sabihin, dinevelop niya yung na-discover ni Thomas Edison. That is why we have now this what we call fluorescent lamp. Okay, so I think that's all. So those are the interesting topics, interesting facts that I discussed in this video. So these are the references. So lahat po yung diniscuss ko sa inyo ay galing po yun sa iba't ibang sources. So if you want to read more about that, you just click these links, okay? Para mas matuto pa kayo. Ayan. So ang dami-dami. So here, credits for some part of this presentation, the Consolacion University Philippines, City of Malolos, Bulacan, which I take this in this link. Okay, so mostly yung ginamit ko dito is galing po dito sa link na ito. Okay? So ayan, this is the most awaited part. So sabi ko sa inyo, wag kayong maglilive muna, wag niyo munang dapat tapusin yung video because there is a reflection activity. So dito niyo lang po makukuha yung link. Okay? Okay, so dito po at as part of your activity in this discussion, kasi hindi pwedeng basta lang kayo nanood. So after knowing all those nature of STS, definition of STS, how it interacts, science, technology, and society. So I have here a reflection question. So what is the relevance of this subject to your course and of course to your life? Okay, so eto yung sasagutin nyo as part of this video discussion. So, paano ko malalaman kung pinanood mo to? Kung doon sa form, okay, by the way, sasagot kayo sa Google Form. Kasi sa Google Form po, mas madali pong ma-compile yung mga sagot compared kung iti-turn in nyo siya doon sa Google Classroom. Kasi anyway, isang question lang naman ito because this is just a reflection question. Okay, so I would like you to answer this reflection question in a Google form. I will provide the link, okay? In this description, hanapin niyo yung section nyo. Ilalagay ko sa description ng video na to yung mga link and then doon po kayo sasagot para sa question na ito. So, yun yung assurance ko that you really finish watching this video. Okay? So, tingnan mo sa description ng video na to na andon yung link. You just look for your section, then you click the link, then doon ka direktang sasagot sa Google Form. Okay, I hope that is clear to you. Okay, so I'm done. Actually, I'm done with the discussion. So I hope you will learn, you have learned a lot in this recorded discussion. So thank you very much for listening and for watching up until this time, and I hope madami kang natutuhan. Okay? So, malalaman ko yan kung meron kang natutuhan sa discussion na ito in our next synchronous schedule. So, if you have any question, kasi hindi ko pa naman masasagot ngayon, reserve it for our next synchronous schedule. And, expect po na sa next synchronous schedule natin, magtatanong po ako kung ano ang nilalaman ng video na to. Okay? So, yun yung assurance ko na talagang pinanood mo ang kabuuan ng video na to. Kasi, pag di mo to pinanood, ang dami mong mamimiss. So, I don't want to take too much of your time. Once again, thank you very much for listening. And I'll be posting this material in our Google Classroom. You download a copy of it. Okay? So, I will provide you all the materials. Okay? So, I think that would be all. Once again, thank you very much for listening. Okay? So, see you on our next synchronous schedule. Okay? Have a nice day and goodbye.